everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Isabelle from Label Nursery. It's been a while since I have not made a video in English. I hope it will be okay. I am afraid I may have lost some of my words and ability to speak. It's been a long time, really. Today I will start a little video in two parts about rooting, and please forgive my voice. I have a cold and I have struggled to speak, so I hope you will understand well. So that's a little video on rooting, very beginner rooting. I will show you in the first part the tools you will need for rooting. I will explain you the difference between some kind of mohair and the needle. And in the next part I will actually show you how to use those needle and mohair to root a head. It's not easy, it's not difficult, I must say. It seems intimidating, but really it's not. It's something that you can learn easily with a little bit of practice. I find it easier than draw or paint hair, personally. Sure, it takes some practice to be good at it. It's like anything else, but it's not too difficult to understand and to master. First of all, we'll show you the equipment and tools you will need. That's the first thing to really know. And sorry. And by this, sooner than later, you will be prepared when it comes the time to root. You can buy small things here and there, and then you will be ready. It can become expensive, particularly with the mohair. Mohair can be very expensive, so it's a good idea to buy some mohair here and there when you can. Often when you order a kit, you can buy mohair to go with it. You can buy some needles, you can just add some little thing to your order. Like that you will have a nice collection of different needles and mohair. You will be ready to go, and it will be less expensive than just buy a bunch of mohair all at the same time. So for the first of all, the first thing you will need, it's very important. I use a little pillow. It's a baby neck pillow. I have just put a needle here to keep it close. I like this very much. You place your head, you can put it this way, or you can turn it and it will stay in place, and it will not rub the paint on the harder surface. You can use a ball with a towel inside, you can use a towel roll. You can also buy rooting pillows. I find them a bit expensive for what they are, but it can be a good investment for you. So you need something to keep the head from moving, to roll over, and to avoid scratching the paint while you are rooting. You will need, maybe not need, but it's a very big recommendation I can give you is to find some magnifier. It will be very useful for pale mohair, blonde mohair, fine kid mohair. It will be useful if your light is not the best. That's something else I recommend, having a good light to root. But the magnifier is really a nice tool to have. It's not an obligation, but I highly recommend it. It helps a lot to see what you are doing, but to also see if you have too much air per holes. Sometimes it's difficult to see just with bare eyes, so it can help you. You can use any kind of magnifier. They come in different type. You can have just a big magnifier on a pole and stand. You can place over. You can have them like this one over your head, or they are on the market. Some model that you put over your nose here. So you choose the one you are the more comfortable with. Beside that, a good thing to have is a routing lamp. It will help to heat the vinyl, the head. Vinyl can be hard sometimes, so having it warm help your needle to go inside more easily, break less needle. It's a good source of light too, to see what you are doing. It's basically a salt lamp, nothing really expensive or hard to find. If you can choose one with the base like this, it will help to keep it from moving from side to side. Just be careful when you use it. Do not let it unattempted, because it can burn or melt the vinyl if it's left a long period of time. Usually do not cause too much warm, but just be careful if you don't have a stopper like this. It can easily go on one side and burn the vinyl, so be careful with that. But when it's used properly, there is no very little risk. You can also use a sock filled with rice that you can eat on the microwave. Personally, I do not use this anymore because first of all, I dislike the smell so much. Second of all, it's a pain to just remove the socks, put it in the microwave, re-put the socks in the head. If you root for 1 or 2 hours at a time, it can be a little bit more work to do. And on top of that, the moire, you will push your needle through the vinyl with the moire, and sometimes it gets stuck in the sock. So when you remove the sock, the air came with, so can be an inconvenient, I can say. Other thing you may want to use, it's a flat iron. May seem weird to use that, but when you get some more air that is very curly, sometimes it's difficult to root, to get the end of the air, something like that. It's curled up to the end, and it's really difficult. So you may want to flat the end to be to have it more easy to root. Some more curly like that too. So it's a good thing to have. This one is a little portable one. I like it. I find it easy to use. The heat came fast. It's light, so that's another thing that I recommend. It's not a necessity, a absolute necessity, but it's great to have one in the end. Sorry. So next thing you will need, you will need glue. Glue to glue the air inside the head after you finish rooting. The mohair go inside the head, and if you don't want it to be removed by rubbing, by putting hats or changing clothes, or just lay down on a pillow, sometimes the baby can lose his hair. So to avoid that, you must glue them in place inside the head. I use Liquitex matte medium. It's a nice glue. It's a medium you can use to paint, to mix to your paint too, but it can also be a nice glue. It's even written in the on the bottle, excellent glue for collage as a substrate size or canvas ground for acrylic painting. Works well. It's dry, very flexible. That's what we want. We want something flexible because vinyl is flexible, and if the glue is not, it will crack and peel inside. So you want something that can move a little bit when you apply some pressure on the vinyl. Some use Mod Podge. That can be a nice idea too. Choose a liquid glue that can be spread easily with a paintbrush inside the head, and use it thin coat. You can use more than one coat, but try to use thin coat, and about any glue can do the trick. But don't use super glue or like E6000, I think. Those are not very good because they left awful chemical smell, and it can ruin your paint. If you drop some on the paint, it's nearly impossible to remove without ruining the paint job. Just look on the bottle. If it says it dries fast and flexible, I mean you can probably use it. They are on the market. I know McPherson have some air glue specifically for using for reborn, but if you want something nice that is durable and flexible, Liquitex is a good choice, or Mod Podge. It's a good choice too. Next you will need a conditioner, preferably leave-in conditioner. I use a different kind. Some are better than other. As long as you can leave it on the mohair, that's okay. I prefer this one when I have finished my routine, all is done, because it has a baby powder smell and I love it. It's for pet, and nothing wrong with this because mohair came from goats. They are animals, so that's great. You can use one for a baby, for adult. You have this kind of stuff, or with the oil in it. As long as you can leave it. I know some people use fabric softener like Downy. They dilute it in water. They use it with great success. I know some people may have allergy to that stuff, but it can be an inexpensive way to condition your mohair. You will use the conditioner in two ways. Sometime you will buy mohair that is kind of dry, and break easily. Sometimes if the mohair is too old or have not been conditioned properly, you can have somewhere that is dry to the touch and break easily when you root it, so you can soak it in a conditioner and let it dry, then brush it gently, and often it ameliorates the quality of the mohair. Also, you will use it to style your hair. You can use it when you have done a section of hair on your head and you want to see what it looks like. You will use it at the end to style the hair too. So it's good to have at least one kind. Then the tool you will need. Those are not not negotiable. I mean, you have to have those tools. Beside the glue, naturally, it's essential. The conditioner is not essential. You can use water to style. It's up to you. But it's a good idea. But the tools you absolutely need. A good scissor. Those are a professional groomer, a pet groomer scissor, or a hairdresser scissor. They cost much more than a regular scissor, but they are perfect. They cut very, very clean, very easily. In fact, you can use almost all kind of scissors, but those are thinner than a kitchen scissor, for say. So it's a good thing to have a good pair of scissors to cut the hair at the end. When you have finished, you will need to cut the excess length of the hair on your baby. You can also get some little scissor like that. I use them to cut the end of my mohair before rooting, because when you get your mohair, sometimes the end of the mohair may be in a different color if the dye stop before the where it's attached. So you may want to cut it. You may want to cut it if your hair is different length and you just want to have something neat and clean to work with. I always recut my mohair, so it's very handy. You will need a comb. Ideally, comb with very tight teeth to brush your mohair and to remove any cut pieces. Sometimes there are smaller pieces that are in the beginning or at the end, so you want to be able to remove them to not root those little pieces at the end to see where you go. And sometimes more hair is a bit messy and you want to just have a nice hair to root. And a toothbrush, a soft baby toothbrush, or this one is made by Reborn FX from Magnifier, but it's a bamboo soft toothbrush. I use it a lot to comb the hair when it's the rooting is done. It's a gentle comb. It will not really remove knots, but it's great to place the hair, style the hair. So it's really important to have something like that. If you don't have one, you can buy a baby toothbrush or a baby hair brush too. It's important that it's really soft to not remove the hair from the head. You can find this about everywhere. I often let one, when I sell a baby with rooted hair, I give one with the baby to just keep the hair in good shape. Next thing, my most useful tool, a tweezer with a sharp point. You will use it to remove all excess hair in a hole. For example, you try to root only one hair per hole, and then by mistake you grab 5 hair, so you will need to remove some with that. And for the little tail that came when rooting to I will explain how to use it more in the second part. It's hard without showing you, but this is my most useful thing to have in hand. You will need a pencil or chalk to map your head, to draw some lines to see in which direction you want your hair to go. I use a Prismacolor beige, but you can use a chalk or a sewing mark pen. If you sew, you may have it. It's a little white pen to mark fabric. So for mapping your hair, you will need something like that. Then naturally the needle and the mohair.